All right, I'm live. All right, I'm live here. I'm going to get started here in about 5 minutes to give people the chance to watch. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to get started here in a few minutes, going to give people a chance to come on in. But yeah, tonight's topic is pretty spooky, so I hope you guys enjoy this. This was suggested by one of my friends in real life. They wanted to see me talk about this one subject, so I hope you guys enjoy this. My hair is a mess tonight. Good God. I just need to text this message out to tell people, hey, that I'm live. Let me see. Hey, Arena Galaxy, how are you? Oh, hold on. This computer's at an angle. Hold on, let me fix that. I think that's a bit better. Okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You excited to hear your topic talked about tonight? Here. All right, yeah. Is it? Ooh! I actually almost fell there. I mean, I don't know if you've seen what I've been sitting on, but I've been sitting on these bar stools. They're really flimsy and floppy. So I mean, I can fall off these things at any time. So yeah, I'm a little bit on the edge, and it's like also like a bongo drum. Hey Anna, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna get started here in about 3 minutes. My Jack Skellington. I freaking love Disney, and I love Nightmare Before Christmas. So that I was just pointing at Jack Skellington. Jack Skellington. I wasn't like, come at me, bro. Excuse me. I'm sorry. You have a Jack onesie? Lucky. Oh, this thing's falling off. In the chat, hashtag GoFundMe things to wall hangings, wall hangings. Hey Jack Lewis, how are you? I'm going to get started here in about 1 minute 30 seconds, so I can just to give everybody a chance to come in who wants to see the show. And then tonight we will talk about black-eyed children. Spooky shit. Moonlaw, hey. I'm glad you made it out tonight. How are you? I am just doing what I'm doing right now, Jack Lewis. I am recording just using the YouTube live camera thing that they added about a few months ago. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not that good at OBS yet. I would like to maybe transition to OBS at some point, but right now I am just not that good at it. So I need to learn how to do that before I transition to OBS, because then I would like to have like sort of like an intro screen like during this waiting time and everything. So I need to learn how to use OBS, but right now I'm just using the YouTube live camera. Rare and unknown. Are you Falric? All right, guys, it's been 5 minutes, so here we are. We're going to start tonight. Hi, guys, welcome to Cryptocast, your source for all things crypto related, unknown, and paranormal. I'm your host, Parker, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at a little paranormal thing tonight. So just imagine this: one night, it's late at night, you hear, "Oh, okay, yeah. You're from the Kick Chat. Okay, yeah, I know who you are." But just imagine this: one night you're all alone, it's dark out. You have your lights dimmed, you're about ready to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden you just hear at your door. You go to open it, and you see two kids there, like during the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., like super late at night, like something that like kids should not be out at, right? But they ask you if you can come in. I mean, if they can come in, not if you can come in. They ask you if they can come in, and you feel a sense of dread, and and subconsciously your hand starts to move to the door to invite them in, but you catch yourself, and you ask where are their parents, and they keep pressing you to come in. They're like, "Please, can I come in? Please, can I come in? I need to use your phone. It'll take a second." And then they look up at you, and the kids have solid black eyes. And you close the door and call the police or do whatever. And like if the police show up, the kids are gone, like never to be seen. This is what a black-eyed kid is. And yet it is really creepy, Anna. But but yeah, black-eyed kids, they're actually sort of a new recent sort of paranormal phenomenon. I do look young. I get that a lot. People think I'm like 14 or 16, but really I'm 20. I'm actually going to be 21 here in about 2 weeks, on August 2nd, which is my birthday. So I will be 21 here in about 2 weeks. So I can finally legally drink, but I don't know. But yeah, so I'm actually older than I look, but hey, that'll be good for like when I'm about 40 or something. But so tonight we were talking about the Black Eye Kids. And thank you, Jack, for the happy early birthday message. But yes, tonight we will be talking about Black Eyed Kids. This honestly, I known about these for a while, but I heard about these when I was back in high school, and I looked it up, and this is one thing that like legitimately freaked me the fuck out. Like I was terrified when I heard of these things because I heard if you know about them, they come for you, which scared me. Black Eyed Children creeps me out, but it's one of my favorites, honestly. Yeah, me too. Me too. But yeah, but when I was in high school, this freaked me the fuck out. But not just because the legend says that if you know about them, they will come, which really freaked me out. And then I watched a YouTube video about them, and I'm just like, holy shit, they're coming, they're coming. Just like peeking out my blinds every 5 minutes. Holy shit, they're coming. The Girl Scouts coming to sell you cookies? No, those aren't the fucking Girl Scouts. It's the Black Eyed Kids. Barricade your doors. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. I mean, unless your kids have black eyes, then push them outside. No, but these things scared the shit out of me. But I'm just like, oh yeah, these are kind of cool, but they're still creepy. So let me see. Oh, also, guys, the phone lines are up as well. So if any of you guys want to call in, talk to me about cryptids, talk to me about these black-eyed children, or if you have your own encounter, please let me know because I would love to hear from you guys. And also, before I get really into this, I've been getting some new fan art, but I haven't printed Eddie off this week that you guys sent me. I'm gonna probably do that this weekend because this week has been really hectic. I have one more week left of my summer class. I have, and then it was just kind of a really stressful week and everything because I found out that I have a hemorrhoid, which, if you don't know what a hemorrhoid is, it is where a varicose vein in like one of your intestines in your stomach, it gets inflamed and it pokes out. And like when you do something, it kind of pokes out of your this looks really sexy, but it's not. I trust me, but it's really where like a little vein kind of pokes out of your butt, so you have like a little bit of your intestines sticking out. So I have been dealing with that. It is getting better, thank God. So I'm sorry that was too much information, but I am doing better, a bit better. Should be better by the end of this week, I hope, or next week. But yes, I am doing better. I will get your guys' fan art up as soon as possible. So keep sending that in because I love seeing what you guys draw and what you guys send me because it's great. And then stay tuned to the end of this video as well because, excuse me, I have a really, really cool announcement for you guys. So stay tuned for that because it's going to be fun. So anyway, let's get back into the creepy black-eyed children. All right. So the black-eyed children, they are sort of like I said, they're a new phenomenon. By the way, you mentioned OBS before you start. I use OBS for my church streams. Well, I'm still learning yourself. I can, yeah. I'd really appreciate that, Rena Galaxy. If you can show me how to use OBS, like on your off time, I would really appreciate that. And yeah, rare and unknown. I have been using some special witch hazel wipes that have really been taking care of that, and it's been really helping. So I should be completely better by like the end of this week or early next week. At least I hope so. If not, I'll have to go to the doctor. So I'm really hoping. I mean, it's doing better, so I feel like I should be better. I don't want to jinx it, but like if anything bad happens, you can't really see it, but it's a wooden chair. Knocking on wood here. Then I'll have to go to the doctor. So I'm hoping it'll be better. So yeah, knock on wood. You can't really see it, but wooden chair. Or wait a minute. Oh, there's a piece of wood right behind me. Damn it, that would have been so much easier. But anyway, let's get back into the kids. So a lot of people, for some reason, are actually scared of little kids, but especially now that all these black-eyed kids sightings are coming in. Some people call them BEK or BEC, which is short for black-eyed children, black-eyed kids, or they just call them the black-eyed children or black-eyed kids. Now, like I said, these are a new, recent phenomenon. For some reason, like early 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and they've been spotted ever since. Yeah, it's BEKs. Yeah, some people do that. Some people just call them like as the full. Some people abbreviate it. But what is scary though, the first recent encounter. Well, not the first recent. The first encounter of a black-eyed child was actually it was two. There was this guy. He was in his car. I forgot what state he was in, and I forgot what his name was. But this is the very first sighting of them, and it's really popular. So if any of you guys know just let me know because I would appreciate that. But this one guy was in his car and it was around like midnight and these two kids knocked on the guy's car window and they said, "Can we have a ride to the movies? We want to see Mortal Kombat." And there was just something about the way that they talk, like they had sort of like they talked more like adults than they did like children. So he was honestly really creeped out about it. And he was reaching, and he subconsciously saw himself reaching for the door handle, but he pulled his hand back. but he noticed something flawed with their story. He said, the guy said that the last Mortal Kombat showing was around like 11 at night and it was midnight, so already an hour of the movie has gone by. So there was something obviously flawed with their story. So he said no, that he would not take them to the movie theater. And then they started banging on his car door, like screaming, let me in, I can only enter if you say I can come in." So, and then he sped off, and then he later reported his sighting online or to the police or one of those two. But it, but he, but yeah, he was obviously really freaked out, and this was the first reported black eyed kid sighting. And um, and yeah, Reverend, I think you're right. I think they did first show up in Oregon. I'll have to double check my sources on that here in a little bit, but yeah, I think they showed up in Oregon. But he was obviously freaked out. But they did bring up a good thing, though. They can only enter the person's house or vehicle if they let them into the house, or if they invite them in. So, so now a little something too. Um, Not many people have let these kids into their house, but only like a few have. So for the people that have let them into their house, there's only like really two accounts that I know of as of right now. But I'm sure there might have been a few more. But there's two kind of more famous ones. there, it was late at night. This lady's at home with her wife, or not with her wife, with her husband. I'm sorry. um, but but we do support all the stuff on our program. So if you are, that is perfectly fine. That was just me missaying at something. So this lady's at home with her husband, and all of a sudden, right, these two, they get a little knock at the door, and these two kids, and it's like a cold winter's night, and there was these two kids there, and they said, "Please, can we come in? I need to use your bathroom." And then and I and my brother wants to use your phone so he can call our parents. and and the lady felt bad for them, but she felt uneasy. But still, her being nice, um, felt bad because there were two little kids. So she invited them into her house, and and then the husband went to make them like some tea, hot chocolate, coffee, something like that. And the one and the one boy was on the phone, and went on the phone, and the girl was up in the bathroom. And then suddenly the light started flickering on and off again, and no, it is not, and no, it wasn't Nosferatu from SpongeBob. I mean, I wish it was. I would make this whole situation less scary if everything was just explained by Nosferatu from SpongeBob. But no, the kids. And then the light started flickering on and off, and then the power just completely went out. So the lady went up to the bathroom to check on the one girl to see if she was okay. And she opened up the bathroom door, and she saw the girl. She was like clawing at her face, like ripping pieces of flesh off of her face. Oh, I actually did scratch myself. Holy shit. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. But anyway. But the girl, this isn't even my final form. But no, sexy. But so the girl's ripping parts of her flesh off her face, and then eventually, and all of a sudden, the husband's nose just started to bleed, like he got a nosebleed, and he has never had nosebleeds before, so this was very unusual for him. And then once the boy got off the phone with whoever the hell he was talking to, I have no idea who he was talking to. This car pulled up, like this government official looking truck, and two men, like the standard men in black that people picture in their heads, like with the little fedora, the black sunglasses, the black suit, trench coat kind of deal, just stared at them. Um, at the house, like through the, yeah, can't even talk tonight. But the two men in black just stared at them, like in front of their house, just standing in the street, just staring at them for a couple minutes before they hopped back in the car and then drove away. And then later, the the family's pet cat died. Like later that week, the husband got really sick. He had to go to the doctor. They found out he had a rare type of skin cancer. so the theory is, like, whenever people invite these kids into their house, something goes wrong, like bad luck, or they get sick. So people think they're omens. Some people think that they are like more alien like because they could be emitting some powerful radiation that causes people to get really sick because of skin cancer that this husband had. It was more commonly found with radiation poisoning or radiation sickness. So people are not sure what what these kids are. People think they could be aliens. People think they could be evil spirits. People think they could be people from another dimension crossing into our world. But either way, whenever someone encounters them, they have an, a really scary feeling, sense of dread come over them. And with almost with every report, they all the people say that they can feel their hands subconsciously moving to the door, like trying to invite them in, like opening it up so they can come in. But most people, I don't know. It's sort of just like a weird phenomena. Like people don't know if they're being if the people are, if these kids are controlling the people, or I'm sorry if you heard that. There's people walking upstairs because I am in my basement right now. So I'm sorry if you hear any noise. The dogs are moving around and there's people up there. So I'm sorry if you hear noise. But people are unsure like what the hell these creatures are and what their purpose is. Either way, it's not a good purpose. And people feel like that the government could be hiding them because like in that last story that I mentioned, they were seen leaving with men in black. So people don't know what these things are. And if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. Question of the day: what do you think the Black Eyed Kids could be? And also, um, the other story I wanted to see when somebody let them in. So there was this. Are there only children examples? That is actually a good question, Moonla. There are sometimes, um, excuse me, my nose just really itches for some reason, but but that is a good question, Moonla. There are actually some examples of some teenagers and some adults that are seen with black eyes. The adults are mostly called BEPs, black eyed people, but there have been a few accounts of some adults with the black eyes. So that is really creepy. There was a really good story I heard about a black-eyed person. So one of the adult ones. I forgot what it is off the top of my head. I'm going to look this up because this is honestly going to bother me until I figure this out. But while I'm looking this up, I want to keep you guys entertained still. So I want to tell you the other story about where people let these things in. So there was this one mom. She parked her car like in a parking lot at night. She had her little kid with her. Her kid was only about like 5 years old, I'd say. So, what happened was, let me see. So she left her kid in the car, which honestly no responsible parent should do. But I mean, she was only going to be um in the store for only about like 3 minutes. She just had to run in, grab some oatmeal or something, get right back out. I don't know why I specifically said oatmeal, but we'll go with it. She had to get oatmeal or something. But regardless, doesn't matter what she got. She was only going to be in the store for like about 3 minutes. Ooh, 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 ooh. Honestly, I don't think there is a way that you can get these kids out of your house. I think, or your car. But once you let one in, I'm pretty sure you're screwed until they go away. Ooh, I just got chills because I just remembered another really bad story. Like, not bad as in like, oh my god, this story sucks, but no, like bad, like as in creepy. I'll share that after I'm done with this one, and then I'll see if I can find the story about the black-eyed people, the adult ones. So when the mom comes back out of the store with her whatever the fuck she got, she got in the car and she was driving home. She looked in her rearview mirror to pull out, and then she saw her son sitting in the back seat with this one kid. And she's like, who the fuck is this kid? And she felt really uneasy about him. So she turned around, and then she's like, okay, you need to get out of here. You're not supposed to be in here. And the kid's like protesting. He's like, no, he's my friend. He wanted to talk to me about my Hot Wheel cars that I have. He asked if he could come in and said that he needed a ride home. And since I think we live pretty close to where his mom could be, I figured we could give him a ride. And he's my age too, so I figured we could do this. And then the kid looks up in the mirror, and the mom sees that he has pitch black eyes. So they get out of the car. They're honestly freaked the fuck out. They call the dad to come drive the car. The black-eyed kid's gone by then, since the mom and the kid just got out of the car. They didn't want to drive that car home because they were freaked out. Well, the mom was. The kid was just like, "Oh yeah, he made a new friend." But you know how little kids are. But they got in the dad's car. The mom and the son got in the dad's car and drove it home. The dad drove the mom's car home, and the mom's car was involved in a huge, really, really bad accident. But luckily, the dad was okay. So really, if you let these kids in, something bad is bound to happen. And then sort of like the story that I mentioned before about like when those two kids went into that house, then they got invited in. This other older couple invited two kids into their house. They didn't know they were black-eyed children until they came into the house. They sat him down on the sofa for a little bit and was about ready to call the police to come. Like, hey, who the fuck's kids are these? Can you come get them? This is not my child. Get Mari Povich down here. Get whatever the other this is not, is this your baby or not, TV shows hosts down here. We need to figure out who the fuck's kids these are. The kids stood up from the sofa, and then they were kind of like this, and then they looked up at the parents and they had black eyes, and they said, we're here to collect you. So obviously the couple was freaked the fuck out, so they ran out of their house. And then eventually they got sick too. So really, if you invite these kids in to your house, or these people, even if they seem innocent at first, something bad will happen, because I don't know what they do. It's like they could be evil spirits. It could be, I don't know, something, just something bad that causes people to get sick. Let me just see. Here we go. I found it. I found the article, I'm pretty sure. It's called Parents of the Black-Eyed Kids. So I am going to read the story off here. So it's not my own story, but I will read it off. It's a story from the 90s. It's this one woman came forward with her story from the 90s. That talks about the black-eyed children's parents. So this one says, years ago when I was a child, I was selling Girl Scout cookies around my neighborhood. She could have been a black-eyed kid too. Back then, parents were more relaxed and didn't mind a child going door to door on their own as much as they do today. I lived in a safe neighborhood where nothing really happened. I was going house to house. I wasn't having much luck. I saw this red car pull up into the driveway, so I ran to catch them as I exited the car. I was desperate to make some sales. I saw there were three of them as I got out of the car. Two elderly people, one man and one woman. And the third person was a young woman in her 30s. The elderly people saw me and got really excited. From far away, I thought their eyes looked black, but I assumed it was just because of the distance between us. I didn't make anything of it. but I thought something was off about them when they started excitedly running up to me. I put a smile on my face and said hello as they were running up, but my smile turned into an expression of horror when they came right by me and I saw their eyes were truly pitch black. They had no whites in their eyes. They looked down at me with huge smiles on their faces. I just froze in place with fear. They looked at each other for a second, and the woman said something I couldn't understand to the black eyed man. Then they looked right back at me and were slightly bent down and just right in my face. The woman who was with them ran up. Hold on, I got a note. There we go. Get that off the screen. The woman who was with them took their arms to pull them away and sincerely apologized. She said, "I'm sorry," and hurried them inside. As soon as she took them and went towards the house, I became unfrozen and ran almost all the way back home. When I slowed down, I started to feel bad. I rationalized to myself that maybe they had some kind of disorder that made them that way. I mean, they did behave like 2-year-olds. I tried looking it up years later, attempting to find a disorder that matched what I had seen, but I couldn't find anything. Still, I thought maybe it was a rare disorder, and that is why I couldn't find anything. It wasn't until a few years ago when I found out about black eyed children from a friend did I realize that what I experienced was probably supernatural. This raises my questions. Who were those people? Why did they have black eyes? Why was that woman caring for them like they couldn't care for themselves? If the theories that these black eyed people are really alien human children, then what are they doing living in a human neighborhood? Maybe the combination messed up their genes and made these two mentally ill. I'll never really know what that I'll never really know that they were and why a normal lady cared for them. Makes you wonder what people know that we don't. And then it says, what the hell was that? Oh, that's freaky. There's more paranormal stuff down here. That's freaky. And then it says, a kid going door to door bumps into black eyed adults. Talk about role reversal. Did Melissa bump into the parents of the black eyed children, or could it be a case of a child meeting people with a mysterious disorder? Have you ever heard of an encounter with a black eyed adult? We want to hear from you. All right, guys. So what do you think of that story? Oh no. Oh no. I found a really fucking freaky one. I don't know if I want to read this one. I will read it if you guys want me to. But first off, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of that story? Do you think that lady that was mentioned in the story ran into some black-eyed adults, or do you think since she was young, she ran into the parent, like just some people with some rare disease or disorder? What do you guys think? And then this one, I'll read this one if you want to, but it sounds really freaky, so I don't know if I want to, but if you guys want me to, I found something that's in the yeah, boy. Okay, so this one is called. But what do you guys think? Do you think? But first off, do you guys think that little Girl Scout saw people with a disorder, or do you think she saw black-eyed adults? What do you think? And then, do you guys want me to read the story? Black-eyed children killed my boyfriend by drowning him. Do you guys want me to read that? All right. Do you guys want me to read Black-eyed adults killed my boyfriend by drowning him? All right, awesome. Oh, this is a long one, but I will read it. Hmm. I just found Weak and Weird today, and I wanted to tell you about an adult BEK experience I had back in May of 2012. At the time, me and my ex-boyfriend were living in Lee Woods, just outside Bristol, UK. We had many strange experiences in the 3 months we were staying in the woods, but this one takes the biscuit. And if you guys want to read these stories, they are on weekinweird.com. I'm going to type this in the chat. There you go. That's the website. If you guys want to check these out sometime on your own, check in that website. They have other spooky stories too, so be sure to check that out. We were leaving to go to work one day around 10:30 a.m. Are there really rare and unknown? I will look into that after I finish the story. We were leaving to go to work one day around 10:30 a.m. and we went out onto the towpath at the bottom of the gorge. Right there were four people walking along. The first, a short, middle aged man with a pointed gray beard and completely black eyes. The second, a very tall, middle aged woman with completely black eyes. The third, a teenage boy, roughly around 17 or 18, with completely black eyes and a troll like underbite with what seemed to have fangs protruding upwards. And the fourth was an extremely beautiful black girl. The rest were extremely pale with white, around 20, 21 years old, whose eyes were normal. The strangeness, the path was flooded out. Some puddles on that towpath are up to a foot deep, and they weren't stepping in the puddles without even looking at the ground, which I promise is impossible in flood season. Even when you're paying attention to what you're doing, their skin doesn't seem to fit them, and they moved in a very strange way, almost like their limbs were bending in places there are no joints. The two older ones looked at us and we said, "Good morning," with this really unsettling smile, but the black eyed adults said nothing back, which is really odd as it's a very friendly city where strangers often talk to each other. They stared at us for a while. It felt awful, like they were looking into my brain or something. The troll like teenager looked dead ahead with a really angry expression on his face, and the girl looked happy but vacant, like she was hypnotized, just staring into space, walking in front of him. Their clothes were modern, waterproof coats and walking boots. Apart from the girl who wasn't wearing walking boots like she'd intended to come to the woods, she was wearing flat pumps, which nobody in their right mind would wear on that path in flood season. When they had passed us, we looked at each other immediately and said at the same time, "That was so weird." We both felt the strangeness emanating off of them, like a total sense of foreboding. What adds further mystery to this encounter is that exactly 1 year later, my ex tragically died at age 22 in one of the quays of that same river the towpath follows. It was reported that he had hallucinated a girl called Sally throwing herself in after speaking to her. He could have been saved, but he refused to let anyone rescue him until he had rescued Sally. There are a lot of residential boats on that quay, so a lot of people heard him shouting for her and tried to help him. The police looked in the quay for the second body for hours after he had died, but concluded she had been a figment of his imagination brought on by his misadventures with drugs. I know this might sound far-fetched, but I have been trying to find out more about these BEKs ever since, and I wanted to share his experience in case it was helpful to anyone. And in case you have any information that might be helpful to my search for answers, thank you so much for reading this. I appreciate it. Esme's encounter is a frightening one for sure. It seems that more and more encounters with blackout entities are reportedly resulting in death, though never immediately in the reports we've seen from witnesses. Death always tend to come sometime. After the BEK encounters, often in the form of slowly debilitating conditions like cancer. This is the first report I've seen where the death came as a result of a hallucination. Could the black-eyed children and related entities be omens of bad fortune akin to the Mothman? This isn't the first frightening encounter to come out of the Lee Woods. In 2014, two girls camping in the forest claimed to have captured a ghost-like entity peering at them from a patch of trees. Perhaps Esme's encounter is somehow related. Regardless, I have a feeling that the reports of black-eyed adults are just the beginning. Wow, that was a lot. What do you guys think about that one? Do you guys think that could actually be. Do you think he died because of a black-eyed children, or because of a black-eyed person, or what do you think? What do you guys think about that? That was freaky. That is actually really freaky. What do you guys think about that? Excuse me. And then I have one more story that I found here. And then I will read that, and then I will look into that condition that you were talking about, Rarand, because I have not heard of this, and I am very curious to see what this condition is. So I'm going to read one more story, then I'll look into the condition, and then we'll go from there. So this is a story about a black-eyed adult found in Texas. The early July sun beat on 19-year-old Dallas Adams as he pumped gas into his car at a convenience store in Lucas, Texas. A man and his son stood at the pump opposite Adams. A woman at her car was behind him. When the gas nozzle clicked, Adams placed it back into the pump and went inside the store. Things were different when he came out. There was no line in the gas station, Adams said. I bought cigarettes and walked out, but when I came out, my car was the only one there. I had only been in the gas station maybe 2.5 minutes. As soon as I noticed everyone was gone, I felt scared, but I couldn't figure out why. Then he saw the man standing by his car. As Adams walked by him, he noticed the smell, like the man hadn't showered in weeks. He looked like an average guy, but when I looked at him, I felt scared, like my life was about to end. Let me see. I lost my place. Like my life was about to end, Adams said. I went to my car and looked at him. He was staring at me. The man came closer to Adams as he stood at the driver's side door, walking in the long steps. I need a ride, the man said, the force in his voice striking Adams, like something physical. It scared me to death, Adams said. What? He said. Give me a ride. Then Adams saw what frightened him. His eyes were completely black. No whites, no nothing, just black. Adams said, when I was talking to this thing, I could smell its breath, which was horrible. Adams worked up the courage to ask where the black-eyed man wanted to go. The man simply replied, just give me a ride. I said, I'm sorry, I can't. Then he took a few steps toward me, Adams said. His walk was kind of odd, but stopped at this conversation was happening. But what terrified Adam was the man's eyes. I couldn't take my eyes off of his, Adam said. It was like they were sucking me in. As Adam stood watching the strange man with black eyes approaching him, something broke whatever held Adam's gaze. Adams hopped into his car and sped away. What did Adam see? This is really troubling me because I've had dreams about this man every night since the day it happened, Adams said. Black-eyed people have been in the popular culture since to approach journalist Brian Bethel as he sat in his car in 1998. The encounters are usually the same. Black-eyed people are usually children to young adults whose use language and assertiveness that would seem to be beyond their means. But the most common thread is their eyes, black, without iris or whites, and dead like a Hollywood vampires. Wow. Okay. Do you think that that man saw a black-eyed adult at the gas station? Because that sounds like what you would see in a black-eyed children, kind of in a black-eyed child, same kind of things, except that this man was an adult. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it's possible that he could have saw a black-eyed adult at the gas station? Let me just take a look. I found one more story. As someone who let me just see. This is coming from the story. The person who wrote this one is Christina George. She's recounting her experience with, excuse me, a black-eyed child, more actually a black-eyed family. I'm sorry if you hear that. That's my cuckoo clock going off. But she is talking about her encounter with a black-eyed family back in 2012. I'm going to read this, and we'll see what happens here. Back in the summer of 2012, myself and a few members of my paranormal group here in Sacramento went up to see a client about a report of being abducted. He was claiming that he had an alien implant and was experiencing paranormal activity. This was in Redding, California. We finished up our investigation and headed back home. When I got home, let me see, it was early in the afternoon, and we decided, my roommate and I, we were going to go to the grocery store real quick and then come back. And the subdivision that we lived in had just one entrance, a cul-de-sac. It wrapped around, and there was a little street that branched off the cul-de-sac area. It ended up at a dead end at a green belt. That is where my home was. So we went to the store, and I was talking to my roommate about all the weird things that had happened in the case. And as we pulled back to our home, we saw 3 people standing on our property. The 3 people were a woman, a young girl, and a young boy, Christina said. All 3 of them, in unison, turned from the waist back and looked dead at me, as if they knew I was looking at them. It was almost like robotic. All 3 did it at the exact same time. And it startled me. Then Christina locked eyes with them. They were eyes that only can be described as non-human. They were completely black. Like so many other black-eyed beings, the creepy trio vanished from view in baffling fashion, never to be seen again. Point Pleasant, West Virginia is beyond any shadow of a doubt noted most of all for its wave of sightings of the infamous Mothman. Between 1966 and 1967, decades later, however, the town was to play host to something just as strange, but very different. The witness to the weird affair, a local woman named Denise, was jolted from her sleep by a young boy looming over her bed on January 14th, 2014. This was no normal boy, however, it was one of the dreaded black-eyed children. Denise tried to scream out, but her vocal cords were paralyzed, as was her entire body. The eerie boy stared at terrified Denise for a few moments, then retreated into the shadows of the room and vanished. It was a nerve-jangling experience. Never heard anyone call it nerve-jangling before. That Denise has not forgotten, nor has she forgotten the strange wave of hang-up phone calls that occurred across the next 3 nights, and all around 3 a.m. A connection? Denise believes so. Time and time again, we heard stories of the men in black and the woman in black. On February 1st, 2015, however, Mark encountered in California woods a child completely in black, a pale-faced boy, attired in black pants, black t-shirt, and a black hoodie. Notably, the child in black turned up just a few hours after Mark encountered a small glowing ball of light over his tent at a height of around 80 or 90 feet. According to Mark, who contacted the author of this by Facebook in April 2015, the boy in black appeared out of nowhere, laughed in an odd hair-raising fashion, and then suddenly vanished into nothingness. Most odd of all, when Mark first saw the boy, his eyes looked perfectly normal, but as he laughed at Mark, they changed to the eyes of the BEC. So what should we make of these and similar cases? I have no real idea. Like the real men in black and women in black, they are an enigma and not a particularly positive one, to say the least. And the author is named Nick Redfern. There's the author right there. Giving him credit. Shout out to this guy. So, what do you guys think about these? Do you think that like black-eyed people live among us? and they can just change their eye color whenever they want to be completely black. Now, now, in all honesty, some people think that the black eye children are just people wearing black contact lenses just to fuck around with people, sort of like the clown craze of 2016. But that doesn't explain all these paranormal happenings and bad events that happened after coming into contact with one. Now, I personally think, I don't know what these things are, honestly, in my opinion. I feel like they could be spiritual or they could be half alien, half human hybrids. I don't know what they are, but regardless of what they are creepy. And now I'm going to look up what usually causes black eyes is someone with already very dark brown eyes getting a blood clot or having a blood pool in the eyes, has the blood pools and darkens in color, giving the illusion of a real solid black eye. Okay, that's very interesting. So it could be what Raren said. It could be a blood clot in the eye of a person with dark brown eyes, making their eye look completely black. But then again, we do not know here. Medical conditions. Pitch. Yeah, I can't find any other explanations about that, Rare, and I think yours is probably the best one about the blood clots, but I'm sure there might be some other ones out there that cause the black eyes. Um, so for whoever is still watching, let me sort of cover what I need to cover here really quick. So let me see. So right now, guys, I just checked my YouTube today, and I have found out that I have 61 subscribers, 61 members of this little cryptid family and paranormal family that we have going on here. So I thank you guys so fucking much for giving me 61 subscribers. That's all these people in this community who love cryptids, who love the unknown, who love the paranormal as much as I do. So I thank you guys so much for being a part of this awesome community that we have here. And once I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a live Q&A whenever I reach it, whatever day, whether it be Monday, Wednesday, if I have, or whenever. Whenever I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a special live Q&A stream on top of the regular stream of that week. So if you guys really want that, be sure to share this video with a bunch of people. And then I'm also planning on, once I get 100 subscribers, I'm thinking about getting a PO box so you guys can send me your fan mail, because I would love to do that, like maybe towards the end of each stream or during the beginning while I wait to start the stream. I can do that on camera for you guys, because I would love to get some fan mail from you, because I love reading your guys, because I love reading notes. I love always checking the comment section. I love interacting with you guys. And then I'm even planning on doing a, since it's my first one I'd ever be doing on here, it's going to be small, but I'm planning on doing a small giveaway, because I'm not going to say what it is yet, actually, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be something spooky related. I'm planning on doing a little small giveaway here once I reach 100 subscribers. So be pumped for that. And so, yeah, I wanted to thank you guys so much for 61 subscribers. That's all you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And I'm so glad that you're a part of this cryptid, paranormal, unknown, fun little community. And yeah, it really means a lot to me. So thank you guys. And also, and if you guys have any other not subscriptions, if you guys have any other ideas that you guys want me to cover in live streams, please let me know. All my contact info is in the link in the description below. If you want to send me some fan art, you can contact me at any of the social media links as well. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, guys, because I have a Twitter. I only have like 13 people following it right now, but I post stream updates and all that fun stuff. So be sure to check that out as well. And also, what else was I going to say? I have a Discord. Yes, I have a Discord. So if you guys would like to join my Discord server, we can talk about all spooky things together, and it's going to be great. I hope you guys will check that out. I have a Tumblr account where I post cryptids every single day on there. Yesterday was the Big Gray Man or the Fearlieth More. So I hope you guys check that out because it's always fun there. My Twitter DMs, not my Insta. I need to make an Instagram for this channel, but all my social media links, the DMs are always open, so feel free to shoot me a message and be like, hey, it can be anything. You can be like, hey, what's up, man? I just had a turkey sandwich for dinner. I'll be like, oh, that's so cool, dude. I had a ham sandwich or something. So be sure to shoot me a message on there because I love hearing from you guys. Next Friday, I am planning on doing Native American legends. So we're going to be covering the Thunderbird, Wendigo, Skinwalker, Piasa bird, Wampus cat, all these really cool Native American cryptids and paranormal events that happen like in Native American culture and mythology and all this really fun stuff. So I hope to see you guys then. I got some weird shit I found. Oh wait, Raren, have you been to Skinwalker Ranch? Have you actually been to Skinwalker Ranch? Oh, dude, you're so lucky. Oh, where is that at? I want to visit that place. That is so cool, though. I would love to visit that place someday. But yeah, you're in my Kick chat. Be sure to message me about that. Yeah, I do have a Kick chat, guys. I should put that in the link in the description too. It's got a decent amount of people, so it might fill up fast. But I can always make a second one too for other people as well. But so yeah, I might put the Kick chat in the link in the description below too if any of you guys are interested in that. But yeah, Raren, please let me know about that on Kick. I would love to hear about that, and I could talk about it in my stream next week. You could always call in next week too and explain it yourself if you'd like. But it's going to be fun. So next week, Native American urban legends and myths and everything. And the week after that, I had a special call from a subscriber who wanted me to cover haunted and cursed cars. So that will be in about 2 weeks. So if you guys want to hear about James Dean's little bastard, JFK's car, that's the stream for you guys. Be sure to check that out as well in 2 weeks. But next week, it's Native American stuff. So with that being said, guys, be sure, if you guys haven't already, please, please, please hit that like button. It really means a lot to me. Or you can dislike this video if you disliked it. That's fine too. But if you do, you might hear a please let me in at your door tonight. So be sure to hit the like button to scare the black-eyed kids away from coming to your door. That's the only proven way to stop the black-eyed kids is to hit the like button on this specific video. And guys, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and share this video out because I really want to do this giveaway for you guys because it's a small one, but it's a cool one. It's sort of like some vintage cryptid stuff and some vintage cryptid paranormal stuff that I have. So if you guys would like that, help me get to 100 by sharing this video and helping this family grow a bit. All right, guys. And if you also, please be sure to hit that bell notification so you don't miss when I upload or stream. So be sure to check that out, guys. And with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next week on Native American Legends and Myths. And with that being said, guys, you've been watching Cryptocast. I've been your host, Parker. Stay spooky. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.